Budget Blinds. Visit their showroom or call today for a free in-home consultation.
This is Newcap News with Bart Pediasic.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. A panel looking into the royalty paid by Alberta's oil and gas companies has come back after a 5-month review. It has concluded the province is already receiving its fair share and that the rate can remain the same.
We need to work in the best interests of the current economic challenges that we're faced with, and so I think this plan does that.
The panel made other recommendations to modernize the current framework. They say this will help make the industry more competitive and create more good jobs. All changes will apply for new wells in 2017. For all wells drilled before that, the existing royalty framework will stay in place for the next 10 years. Now, while the results of the review may be a sigh of relief for the Alberta oil industry, the announcement is drawing criticism from Conservative MLA Richard Starke. He says the NDP government is backtracking from what he calls a myth they were spreading.
Not just in the campaign last May, but for years prior to that, told Albertans we're getting ripped off, it's not fair, the previous government is in cahoots with big oil, and they told these things to people for years, and certainly told people that throughout the May election campaign. And I imagine it was a pretty bitter pill for the Premier and her caucus and supporters to swallow.
To other news of the day now. A 21-year-old Saddle Lake man is dead following a collision between a pickup truck and a pedestrian last night. RCMP say it happened around 7 o'clock on Range Road 121, just north of Highway 36 on the Saddle Lake First Nation. The incident remains under investigation, but so far no charges have been laid. Welcome back. The RCMP have released their latest list on most wanted criminals in the area, and it includes a few people who've made the cut before. 29-year-old Randy Lyshurka is described as 5'5", 130 pounds with black hair and brown eyes. He's wanted for a possession charge. Trent Angus is wanted for dangerous possession for the purpose of trafficking, for drug possession rather, for the purpose of trafficking, pointing a firearm and failing to appear in court. The 26-year-old has black hair and brown eyes. And Shailene Lewis is 20 years old. She's 5'5", 150 pounds with brown eyes and hair. Lewis is wanted for failing to comply with her probation. Well, in a touching tribute, the city and those involved with the Battle of the Badges charity hockey game have renamed the event in honor of Lloydminster's late Fire Chief Todd Gustafson. The announcement came today at the ceremonial puck drop on the RBC Cup leisure ice in front of City Hall. And as Jeremy Thompson reports, both sides are confident they'll be the ones to come out with the win.
It's an exciting announcement for everyone involved. The annual charity hockey game between the RCMP and Fire Department has been named after one of its founders.
I think it was a no-brainer for everyone involved that the legacy that Todd has left the city with needed to be appreciated by us as a police force and the fire department, and this was the natural thing to do.
This picture was taken at last year's game, just over a month before Todd's death shook the community.
What I've seen him do for this community day in, day out, it's great to name a community event after him that'll live on for years to come.
It epitomizes what he's all about, bringing people together, because that's what he did.
Last year, the RCMP came away with a hard-fought 15-10 victory. This year, both sides have stepped up their training in preparation for the big game.
Normally police officers go to the donut shop maybe once or twice a day. We've been going 3 or 4 times just to, beef up a bit for this.
Nobody is surprised that the RCMP are in the donut shops a little bit more this time of year. We've actually been keeping fit and trying to lose a little bit of weight, and we've been training quite a bit.
As for the score this year,
I believe we'll win probably by 3 or 4 goals. We don't want to blow them out of the water. They are a little bit of sore losers over there, so we'll try and keep it pretty fair.
We'll let them have a few goals at the beginning, and then we'll take over.
Mayor Saunders isn't taking sides.
Boy, I've been hearing a lot of comments that they've been bolstering their teams and recruiting all year and practicing every night, so I think we're in for a whale of a game.
Jeremy Thompson, Newcap News.
Thanks for coming out, everyone.
Following the Read for 15 challenge earlier this week, the Lloydminster Public Library has noticed an increase in participation numbers. More than 7% of the border city's population participated in the event across all age groups. The total places Lloyd's Library above several similarly sized libraries and even larger ones across Alberta. People spend 15 minutes reading anything from grocery lists, restaurant menus, and more before notifying the library. Librarian Michelle Duchek says participation came from a variety of demographics for a total of almost 2,300 people.
Pioneer Lodge, practically everyone there got counted. A couple of schools, the entire school got counted. Individual classes in other schools got counted. The Big Brothers Big Sisters after school program read for 15 and reported in.
And Duchek is hopeful that going forward, more people will realize there are ways to read more than simply a hard copy book.
We read articles online. We read newspapers online. We read all sorts of stuff online. I mean, you're reading your email. This is just putting the focus, showing you that, yes, we are reading.
The library plans to run Read for 15 again next year. A great performance at the Vic Juba Theatre is planned for this weekend, and if you have the chance to attend a snowbank barbecue to help raise funds for a local charity next week. Heather Klages has all the details in this week's edition of What's Happening.
Coming up next Saturday night is the annual Tell a Miracle Steak Night here in Lloydminster. The Lloydminster Kinsmen and Kinettes every single year do a fantastic job of cooking up delicious steak and helping to raise funds for Tell a Miracle. This year is Tell a Miracle 40, and Lloydminster has always come out to support this in a huge way, and we're hoping that once again that'll happen this year. If you want to get tickets for the annual Tell a Miracle Steak Night, just get in touch with any member of the Lloydminster Kinsmen and Kinettes. You're in for a real treat this Saturday night. Taking over the stage at the Vic Juba Community Theatre is Luke McMaster. He says some of his big influences are soul artists like Marvin Gaye and Al Green, but he puts a bit of a contemporary feel on that style of music. You may also recognize his name as he used to be a member of the Canadian duo McMaster and James, and they opened for some big names out on tour, including Christina Aguilera. Going to be a fantastic show coming up tomorrow night live on stage at the Vic Juba Community Theatre. Don Henley has a new solo album out called Cass County, and we want you to win a copy this weekend. It includes the hits, The Cost of Living, and That Old Flame. It's really easy for you to win a copy. All you have to do is email your name and daytime phone number to tvcontest@newcap.ca. And we want to say thanks to John at Universal Music Canada for setting us up with the music. And if you've been missing your barbecue, Big Brothers Big Sisters has the answer for you on Wednesday. They're hosting a fundraising barbecue at their office Wednesday over the lunch hour, so stop by, have a burger, help out a great cause. Well, whatever you choose to do this weekend, I hope you have a great one. I'm Heather Klages, and that's what's happening.